I'm in the fairly early. So last but not least, the last book. Yes, how many times can I say last? Oh, spoiler alert. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my April TBR, and I reckon it's going to be a fairly short video because I actually don't have too many books I'm hoping to get to this month. So with that being said, let's just jump right into it. So as I said in my March reading wrap up, which if you haven't seen yet, I'll put in the cards and link on the screen at the end of the video. March was a slow reading month for me. I'm really hoping that April is going to help me turn things around a little bit reading wise. I managed to watch quite a few movies last month, but actually finding time to physically pick up a book was kind of difficult. Whilst I wrap up my degree, I'm thinking that I'm definitely going to be turning towards audiobooks a little bit more. When it comes down to it, actually picking up a book and reading it is definitely my favourite way to consume stories. It just is. But audiobooks are pretty good too, and I'm finding that I'm actually enjoying them quite a bit. I listened to Beauty Queens by Libba Bray last month. Very funny. Currently I'm listening to The Problem with Forever by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Currently listening to that on my phone. Quite handy having the Overdrive app. The Problem with Forever is about a girl called Mallory who had a really rough start to life. She spent most of her childhood in care and ultimately learned that silence was her best defense. Because she spent more time silent than speaking, her friend Ryder nicknamed her Mouse. They grew up in care together until they got separated. Now 4 years have passed, and after a period of homeschooling, Mallory has decided to complete her senior year in high school in a public high school, and that's when on her first day back she's actually reunited with Ryder, and that's all I really know. I'm really liking it so far. I'm about 13.6% of the way into the book, and so far so good. It's about 14 hours long, and I've been listening to it whilst I do laundry, my hair, cooking, cleaning, you know, things of that nature. 2 birds, 1 stone and all that. I'm in the fairly early stages of the book, so it's too soon to say just how much I'm going to like it overall, but so far so good, as I already said. I do think I'm going to end up reading more Jennifer L. Armentrout books because I'm enjoying this one so far. I reckon I should be able to finish that one by the end of the month. So on to physical books that I want to read this month. The book that I think I'm possibly the most excited to get to this month is The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. And if you watch BookTube, then I'm sure you know about this book. But for those of you who don't know too much about this, it's a dystopian novel and it's the first in a trilogy. So a disease has killed most of America's children, and our main character Ruby is one of the survivors. So while she and the other children have survived, they've not been left unscathed. The disease that wiped out their peers has left them with these abilities that they can't control. Their parents are pressured to send them to a rehabilitation camp where they have to get their abilities under control. But it's these very same abilities that they can't control that might be the key to their survival. And that is all I personally know. And I'm not gonna lie to you, seeing the release of the trailer, because this is being turned into a movie, seeing that had been released is what spurred me to seeing that trailer had been released is what spurred me to finally pick this up, because I've seen and heard bits and pieces for quite some time, but the trailer's release is definitely the reason why I'm holding it right now. I'm a fan of dystopian novels. I feel like most people, my interest in dystopian started with The Hunger Games, a trilogy I still haven't actually finished just yet. The last dystopian book I read was Catching Fire, and I will read Mockingjay this year. I have to read it this year. My love of dystopian started there, and I feel like this is going to be, I have high hopes for this book. I think it's going to be a good one. Obviously, once I've gotten through this, I'll move on to the second one, Never Fade. Even though the trailer being released is what led me to pick up this book, I haven't actually seen the trailer because I want to give my brain a chance to conjure up the characters for itself. If you can't tell, I am so excited to read this. This book is fairly hefty. It is 518 pages, but I reckon that once I've started it, it should be quite the page turner. So the movie doesn't come out until August, but that's in America. I actually have no idea when it comes out here. So if you want to read it, you've got plenty of time before the movie drops. So the next book is another book to movie adaptation. These are all library books, so they all have dust jackets on them, so they're super reflective. But this is On Chesil Beach by Ian McEwan. There you go. I'll be honest, I'd never heard of this book until I saw the trailer for the film, and Saoirse Ronan's in it, and that is literally the reason I picked this up, because I love Saoirse Ronan. Very good actress. When I saw that it was based on a book, and a fairly short book at that, I decided to pick it up. It's literally 166. Yeah, it's literally 166 pages. It's set in the summer of 1962, in July more specifically. It's about a newly married couple who both have their reservations about their upcoming wedding night, and that is literally all I know. Sometimes I feel like that's a good thing though, to just go into stories having no real expectations and just finding stuff out as you go along. The film adaptation for this comes out on the 18th of May in the UK. So last but not least, the final book I'm hoping to get to this month is Where'd You Go, Bernadette by Maria Semple. This is another book that I really don't know a whole lot about. I just know that Bernadette disappears and her 15-year-old daughter B looks for her, and it's set in Seattle. all I know. But you know what, like I was saying but 2 seconds ago, I feel like sometimes going into a book knowing nothing is like the best. You have no real expectations that way, you're just kind of there for the ride. Sometimes it's just nice not knowing what to expect. I feel like that's part of the fun, part of the mystery. The movie for this one comes out on my birthday, October the 19th, but again, that's an American release date. No idea when it releases here. One of those books are library books, actually, so not doing so great with the goal of reading more of my own books than library books, but it's only April, there's still time. Also, I actually want to finish Perfect Match by Jodi Picoult this month. That's a book that was on my March TBR that's carrying over to this month, so if you want to hear a little bit more about that story, just click on the card that should be above my head now, or a button that will be on the screen shortly. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed this video. Check back at the end of the month to see how I go with this. Isn't it funny how I was saying how I'm super busy trying to finish my degree, but I still managed to have 5 books on my TBR this month? I don't know, we'll see how I go. If you're new here, please remember to hit the subscribe button, like, and leave me a comment. Let me know if you've read any of these books or if you plan to. I don't just make book related videos here, I also do reviews, the odd tutorial, hauls, all sorts of things. Check those out, there'll be some suggestions on the screen. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! I feel like if I couldn't talk with my hands, I would be at a loss. I'm in the fairly early stages. Can I just read what I wrote? The next book is another book. Nah. The next book is another movie to film. Nope.